Watch this video to learn how to play Young Hunter from the Piano Adventures Level 1 lesson book. Today we are learning how to play this one-page song, Young Hunter. But before we begin to learn how to read the music, we have to learn how to read a new note, treble A. Let's go to my whiteboard to look at treble A more closely. We'll begin with a blank grand staff, and what I'd like to do is draw the first three notes we ever learned how to read. We're going to start with this one. I think we all remember this very first note, middle C. This was the next note that we learned how to read, and then we learned how to read this one. Together, these three notes have acted as our guide notes in all music reading. Guide notes are notes that we know how to read, and we learn other notes based on where they are. Each of the notes inside the staves are on line 2 of their respective staff, but this line is special for another reason. It might help to think about what letter the treble clef is based on. It's based on G, and if we look at the line that comes right out of its target, we know that this is the G line. And then if we turn our attention to the bass clef sign below it, we can see a cursive F inside of it. You might not know what cursive F looks like, but that is an F. And the line that this note sits on is all considered the F line. So the three guide notes we first learned how to read were treble G, middle C, and bass F. Now that we've remembered this, I'm going to take away some of these drawings so that we can focus just on the one guide note that is close to our new note. And that note is treble G. Our new note is on the space just above treble G, and it is treble A. Taking a close look at treble A, we see that it is on space 2 of the treble staff. So we can tell what it is both by looking at its neighbor treble G and by looking at the space it's on. That is A. The next thing I want to do is take a look at where this sits on the keyboard. X marks middle C here. And we know that G is this key and A is right next door. These are the same notes we were just looking at. So here is our treble staff, and we will now draw treble G and then treble A. Remember, treble A is on the second space, and it's just above treble G. Okay, we learned how to read our new notes, so let's take a look at our music again. We're going to start by looking at some of the overview information that we always consider when we're learning a new song. First, the time signature of this piece is 4/4. That means that there will be 4 beats in every measure of music, and we're going to use the quarter note as the basis for 1 beat. Next, the tempo marking says moderately. That is the speed that we should play this piece at. Next, let's identify the starting notes for each hand. Do you recognize that first note for the right hand? That is the note we just learned about. It's treble A. And the first note for the left hand is one we know really well. It is middle C. You can go ahead and fill in both of those starting lines with the starting note name. The next thing that I want to do is pull out for a further view so that we can take a look at the form of the song. Now, you probably are learning how to play classic dance right now also, and classic dance has a format where the first line is repeated and then it is played again at the end. Well, look at this repeat sign here. Does that look familiar? We play this first line twice to start. Then we play a different line, and then we play the first line again at the end. So it has the same song form that classic dance did. And with that, let's head to the piano to learn how to play this. We're going to begin by playing line 1. Let's start by making sure our hands are in the right place. So this is middle C right here. Your fourth finger for your right hand needs to be on A. A is right here. So put your ring finger there, which is the one closest to your pinky. That means your pinky ends up on B and your thumb ends up on E. Your left hand thumb is going to be on middle C, so this is the hand position that we use. Now we begin with your fourth finger, and it begins staccato. Bounce 4 times. 3, 4. Then we land on G, and we bounce up on E, and land on E. Try just that right hand part with me. 1, 2, here we go. A, bounce, 2, 3, 4, land, G, bounce up on E and land. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right, that E is held for 10 beats. The E is a tied note, a half note with 2 whole notes all together, 10 beats. While we are holding it, after 2 beats, your left hand will come in with this. C, A, G, A. And it's legato. So this is the first legato part. You have to lift up to play the A again, and that starts a new legato. These are all connected. Try just that left part with me. 1, 2, here we go. C to A, pick up A, G, A. Let's put the whole line together now. 1, 2, here we go. A, bounce, 2, 3, 4, land, bounce up and land. 1, 2, left, C, A, G, A, 2, 3, 4. There's one more thing I want to look at with this line, and that is the dynamics. Your right hand is going to be mezzo forte, that's moderately loud, but your left hand is going to be piano, that's soft. So there's a big distinction there. Your right hand is going to be much louder than your left. Let's try that. At the beginning, 1, 2, here we go, mezzo forte, 2, 3, 4, land, bounce up and land. 2, quiet, C, A, G, A, and now we repeat it. Go, bounce, bounce, nice and loud, land, bounce up, land, quiet. Good. So we've played the first line and we've repeated it. Let's look at line 2. Line 2 begins with your right hand 3 on G and your left hand 1 on C. And then we're going to switch so that your right hand thumb is on E and your left hand 3 is on A. So we're going from 3 or 1 to the other one. So they're switching. Try just that. We're going to play right hand 3 and left hand thumb together. And now switch to your other. Good. The way that this line works is just like that to start. We play 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we switch again and we bounce lightly 4 times. 3, 4, and switch. 2, 3, 4. Try it with me. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is loud. 2, 3, 4. Now quiet. Bounce, 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 land. 2, 3, 4. And the last line is exactly like the first line, so we've already had practice with that. Let's try playing the entire song. 1, 2, here we go. A, bounce, 2, 3, 4, land, bounce up and land. 2, quiet. C, A, G, A, 2, 3, 4 again. Bounce, 2, 3, 4, land, bounce up, and land, 2, quiet. C, A, G, A, 2, 3, 4. Right hand 3, left hand 1. This is forte. Switch. 2, 3, 4. Switch quiet staccatos. Bounce, 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 land. 2, 3, 4. First line is also the last line. Land, bounce up, and land left.